I really hate that.
You know what? I hate it too, but I noticed that it doesn't say it in the video because when I watched it the first time, but
I really,
it's
I really, I
yelling.
really hate that.
I do.
So we back with another episode.
We're back. We're back.
Um, Now I really didn't want to really start this pod off with being the bearer of bad news, but all bad news can be good news. So today I am here. This is episode 4. That's not the bad news part. Today's is episode 4, and today we're going to touch on Texas abortion law. But before we get to that, I am Zay.
I am Jess.
This is Jess. And unfortunately, the bad news is this will be her last pod.
It is, yeah.
It is bittersweet.
Yeah.
We're still friends.
We are.
Just in case, because people watch other podcasts and they just see things and then assume things and then
Just messy.
Yeah. So this will be her last podcast. It's been great. It's been great. The podcast will still go on, of course.
Yeah.
And I don't know what new changes is gonna happen. Probably not doing another co-host. Probably gonna just do a guest base. I don't know. I'll figure it out soon.
I'm starting a cooking YouTube. I'm excited.
Oh, okay. See, I told you guys.
Cooking YouTube.
All bad news ain't good. Ain't bad news.
Yes, and I'm putting it on TikTok. I'm doing all meals under like 30 minutes.
Okay.
So my first episode, I'm gonna do every other Sunday, like a Sunday dinner.
Okay.
And it's gonna be, the first one is shrimp teriyaki dumplings with a sweet chili sauce. That's my first one.
Shrimp teriyaki with
dumpling with a sweet chili sauce.
Okay. I mean, you lost me at the dumpling part, and
you ever had shrimp dumplings before?
I don't do shrimp.
Allergic?
Remember? Allergic? Just thought you would remember that part.
That episode, you'll come in something else.
Just thought you remember that part.
It's a great thing I never ordered like a seafood boil around you guys, because
listen. I mean, listen, I'm good. She can eat all the seafood in the world. Like, I'm good. But then again, that's just her, not me.
Damn, that's really depressing. All right, it's fine.
Right, let it rock. I don't do the seafood thing. And anybody that watches this, just know I don't do the seafood thing. It's cool. Just don't invite me to no seafood place. Unless they got like, they be having like in the very last page, a small section. Here's some chicken if you want to. Here's some kids meal with some chicken. I'll eat that, but you just won't catch. Huh?
You're such a 10-year-old. You're such a 10-year-old.
Yeah. You just won't catch me just ordering off the seafood thing. Come on, we was in New Orleans and they was trying to get some.
Yeah, that's another thing. You're in New Orleans where everything is seafood. They live by the water.
Yeah, I know. I was over there, but don't mean I gotta eat the water. Eat what's in the water.
Do you eat buffalo sauce?
Not really. I'm not a big fan of buffalo sauce. Okay. I mean, listen, I'll eat some salmon.
What does that have to do with? No. Okay. Do you like crab meat?
No. You're going too far. All right. Look. I had what did I have? I had lobster mac and cheese. I was good. I had it twice. I was good.
Okay. Because I do a stuffed salmon with crab meat or lobster meat and it baked in the oven.
I don't know. I would be interested to try it and pray that I don't die. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, wait. So the funniest thing is, if I didn't have it the second time, the first time I had the mac and cheese. See, both stories are funny. The first story was I was in Atlantic City with a couple of my people from Citi Field when I was working there, and we did a diner dash, and niggas got caught. Like we was running through the hotel, and then like we didn't expect them to have so many people chasing us. We only saw a few people, so like
Atlantic City.
Where did you get the squad from? Where did you get the squad from? Like, you got your homies? We about to get fucked up. So we running. We all split up. My dumbass supervisor at the time This guy runs through the back blocks of Atlantic City. First of all, I'm not going to those. You're gonna end up in somebody's projects. And the nigga got caught and thrown in the back of the paddy wagon. The girls dipped off. Me and this other dude dipped off in the hotel. All you hear is a fucking guy running. He's like, help, help. He's like, these guys ran out on the bill. I'm like, why is this nigga so loud? What the fuck is he doing? It's like, stop them, stop them. Where you guys going? Where you guys going? I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like dead behind us, but the dude with me, he's like, yo, he can't touch you, so just keep going, just keep going. I'm like, bro,
he's lying.
I'm like, bro, can we just like distract them, or I gotta act like, because back then I used to just act like when I was doing something wrong, I would just act like I was trying to, stop it. Like I was just trying to. So I'm just like acting like, yo, bro, just stop, yo, like come on. And I'm still walking. So we eventually stopped. He gave him some money. Long story less long. They tried to get the girls to snitch on the dude in the back of the paddy wagon to get him locked up, and they ended up getting their money plus interest. And I don't think I was involved in that transaction, but that was funny.
That's so funny.
The second story, it was recently. I was at Sasha's cousin's house, and they make a bunch of seafood stuff. But clearly, they made, like, in the beginning, they had made, like, some stuff that I eat. Like, they made chicken patties and.
Do you eat crawfish?
No.
Wow, that's wild. Okay.
Well, anything that involves fish, I won't eat, except for tuna fish. I'll eat that. But so they made this food. Don't ask any questions. So they made this food or whatever. Boom. They ended up making some mac and cheese. So I see some mac and cheese. If you know me, I love me some mac.
That's my favorite food. That's my go-to.
That's like if you wanted to get.
Oh, can I have you on that episode?
Huh?
Can I have you on that episode? I have a garlic parmesan mac and cheese recipe. It's baked in the oven.
I see. Now, if I have that, I'll probably die, but not like die of allergic reaction. I mean, like die and like I'm in love with it. So, so they make this mac and cheese, and I'm like, oh shit, mac and cheese! I get mad hype. Mac and cheese, like a little kid, mac and cheese. Oh my god, I got mac and cheese. So I get mad hype, and I get a plate of it, and I get some chicken because they had made some fried chicken. So I should have caught on to the signs because I'm looking at this mac and cheese and I'm like, this is not no ordinary mac and cheese. Did they put like red peppers in it? So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just do that. So I got mac and cheese and I go sit in the living room because me, if you know me, if I'm on, her family's big and when I'm around large crowds, I get introverted. So I go and isolate myself from the family. So I go in the living room, I get content, get in my little corner, and I start busting down my food. All I hear is, Xavier. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm eating my food. Why the fuck are people screaming my name? Like, what the fuck is going on? So I get up, her cousin comes in the room, and it's like, she's like grabbing the plate, like, Xavier, what are you doing? You know this is lobster mac and cheese, right? You ain't supposed to be eating no seafood, right? I was like, I'm good. Give me a fucking plate. So I tugged the plate back like, I'm good. She's like, you sure? I'm like, I'm good. Give me the damn plate. I got chicken on this shit. At least let me finish the chicken. Like, I was like, yo, I'm good. I had lobster mac and cheese before. I thought it was peppers. Why y'all niggas didn't say nothing? Like, how y'all just gonna put out mac and cheese and then don't say what's in it? I know y'all love seafood and shit, but like, relax. Like, you gotta tell me these things. I'll be doing seafood. They thought I was going to die and shit. They was screaming
but it tasted good.
Yeah, hell yeah. It always tastes good. I didn't even notice. If they would have never said that, I would just thought it was just mac and cheese with some peppers in it. I really didn't notice until they said it, and I was like, oh, all right, now I taste the lobster part of it. So I was like, I'm good. It's like, you breathing okay? I was like, Sasha came in there. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Chill.
Nobody wants to go to the hospital. Feel me? Like,
yeah, you're right. And I was in Yonkers, so I don't know what the closest hospital is. Like,
I think it's in New Rochelle.
Yeah, so that would have been the case for me. I don't know how I would have reacted. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, I've had shrimp a couple times that my brother made, and yes, you could just say it could have just been the way he made it or whatever the case would be. And I'll get a scratchy throat. So that was my sign of don't eat this no more. So, I mean, I stopped eating it. But then people started saying, well, you're allergic to shellfish. And I was like, shellfish sounds like a wide category of different stuff that you can eat. I'm just talking about the shrimp part. So it's just shrimp I'm talking about. I don't know about the others in that family.
You don't eat oysters?
I haven't tried it. But
Well,
anything that I haven't tried, I usually say I don't eat. So I am very picky.
oh, me too. I do that so people don't bother me. Yeah, yeah, I do all the time. Because they're like, oh, you don't like this? Did you ever have it? And I'm like, to avoid this conversation, no, I don't like it. I tried it, don't like it. I just do it so people cannot bother me about shit. Because then I have to talk about it. I'm like, oh, no.
That's usually what it is. So
Yeah. I just don't bother me.
yeah. So I'm sorry, guys. We got a little sidetracked. But we are talking about. Well, today we're talking about Texas abortion law. Took some time to really dive in on this because I wasn't too educated on it. I mean, I got a few articles here to give me the basis what's going on. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're just gonna give an opinion, and I do want to say that I know I'm not a female. I do not have any, reproductive organs and stuff like that. Cannot deliver a child. Cannot, develop a child at all. So this is strictly from my opinion. Don't kill me. I do not want no smoke. Okay. I plan to have kids one day, and I pray all the best for that. But Jess, you want to start this off? Just throw you right in the fire. Just here you go.
Go right. It's
Here
okay.
you go.
It's fine. So I was reading about it when it first came out, like 2 weeks ago, and they decided to. Well, first things first. These southern states have like different opinions on everything that we have opinions on. Like all these southern states, they are still like a 1950s vibe of like they still think it's like old times and we're like in new times. So they think a lot backwards than we do. Like Texas, in my mind has like lost it. And I feel bad because it's like it's kind of scary. So they're making this law that abortion is illegal now in general. And now they're making it illegal at 6 weeks, where most women find out that that's when they're pregnant. Right. I've only probably heard one story, like someone I know, that the earliest that she found out she's pregnant was like 3 weeks, and that is super duper like rare, like rare. That doesn't always happen, but like 90% of women find out 6 weeks and after. When my aunt was pregnant with my cousin, she was pregnant for 5 months. She had no idea. Why? Because she got bleeding every month. So in her head, and then your stomach's not getting big. In her head, she just didn't think that she was pregnant until she went to the doctor, and they were like, your baby's sleeping. And she's like, what baby? What baby? What are you talking about? So I think it's extremely fucked up to be decided for. Texas has always been a little off in general.
Yeah, they are. They're off. I'm sorry for anybody that's from Texas. Some of the
I'm not sorry. Fuck that.
No, some of the shit that y'all do, man. Listen.
Fuck that. I don't understand, because I know I have friends who like stationed out there from the army and things like that. And they say like they're very, very, they're just weird. They're just fucking weird. That's all I got. There's no damn, they're just weird. And I don't understand where they come from making this decision for women as if it's like it's a woman's body, so when it's 6 weeks, let's say it's 6 weeks right now, and right now I'm pregnant and I have no idea and I'm just going on about my life. 6 weeks becomes 10 weeks, and 10 weeks becomes 12 weeks, and then I find out, oh, holy shit, I'm pregnant. You tell me I can't if I'm in a situation I can't have an abortion because you say so and you didn't even get me pregnant? That's insane. And when I was reading it, I want to say one of the articles I was reading was basically anyone right now can sue them for not being able to have an abortion. Like, there are probably so many lawsuits right now. It's crazy, like how they stand out with those little signs outside of Planned Parenthood. They're doing that right now, like they always did, but now it's even worse because there are still like women like trying to find like a loophole, because you shouldn't be stuck like that. Like, that's totally not fair to be stuck. There's situations with rape. There's situations with high risk pregnancies.
Incest.
Incest. That's crazy. High risk pregnancies. Are you gonna make it? Is the baby gonna make it? What's the choice? Are you gonna have a stillborn? Is everything gonna be okay? Like anything can happen and change when you're pregnant. So for someone to say as early as 6 weeks when you probably won't even know a little bit after that, that's crazy. Like everyone's situation is different. So I know they're already debating for years, like, oh, is an abortion, like, is it murder? Is it not? Like the whole Roe versus Wade thing and like the religious beliefs and things like that. Because there are people who really don't believe in abortion. There's people who do for whatever the circumstances are. And you don't know what's going to happen. So I just think that that's like crazy to me. It is. It's crazy to me. And I've never even had an abortion, but that is just nuts. You cannot be making those like decisions. There's like a shit ton of lawsuits right now. Like, it's
Oh,
just,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there is, and it's kind of crazy.
Not even to cut you off, I forgot this part. When I was reading that they can have all these lawsuits, they literally said for any of these rape, incest, all those things, and you go and have an abortion, they tell you no, and then you go and sue them. They're only going to give you about $10,000. What the fuck am I going to do with that? What is $10,000?
I mean, you could do a lot with it.
For my pain and suffering, no, for my pain and my mental capacity. What is that supposed to do for me?
Oh no, definitely no money in the world could to that'll convince
you get pregnant during incest. You tell me I can't get an abortion. Okay, now I sue you. Okay, so here's $10,000. So what am I doing with that? Now I'm fucked for the rest of my life because
but then what is then to combat that is what are you going in it for then? So like if 10,000 ain't good for you, what money will convince you to process the
I don't think
for your pain and suffering actually?
I don't think any, well, I'm not gonna say any lawsuit because that's not true.
Because if you sue them, you obviously sue them for a reason and you want to get some type of compensation.
I really don't think, and this is probably smidge ignorant, I don't think everything revolves around money. There's always a principle. Some people will probably say, like, you think I give a shit about that money? I don't want this baby. Like, there are people who wholeheartedly, I'm sure we probably met people who like, I stand on, I don't want kids. And then magically they wake up, use all the protection in the world, and they still got pregnant. And then they're pissed.
Right.
Because they know. There's people who just know, like, I'm not meant to have kids. And that's completely fine that you're self-aware of that. And then something happens and someone tells you no. And they give you money and you're like, what is this supposed? This is not the point of, I don't care about the money. I care that I didn't want to do this. I have this choice that you say that's in the law of whatever. And now you're telling me I can't do it anymore.
Right.
So not only with the vaccine, with the constitutional rights, you're going against my body again in another thing. So Roe versus Wade means nothing.
Would the sue be, because I'm like at some point the only time the money would come in is if y'all actually settle. So like are you suing to get that overruled pretty much? Like, oh, I can't get an abortion, so all right, so then I understand it then.
Like if you're doing it to be like, I genuinely want this, like that's just what has to happen. You were raped and you can't deal with that because who knows where your mind is about to go after that. And then you have to live with that. And you're just like, I just want this done. That's different. I don't know too many women who, God forbid, incest or a rape situation happens and you can look at your child every day and be mentally okay.
Right.
I'm sure there are women who have, but I'm sure there's a lot of women who cannot deal with like seeing that every day.
Yeah.
And then act like their life is normal. And then explain to your child who your dad is and where he is. That's a crazy conversation to have.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that is pretty tough. Damn. So
you know what, Xavier, you should tell everybody your opinion. What do you think?
Well, I mean, now nobody kill me on this, but I think because from what I read on an article from the New York Times is, they're saying 6 weeks. My only question is, by that time, at what point do you know? Because I think, and I hate to refer back to this, No, never mind. I was gonna refer back to a Love and Hip Hop episode that I just watched not too long ago with Safari and Erica, but I
Oh
think
God.
I think I think he ended up saying that she was 5 months pregnant
Oh, and
and
how she didn't know. I
she
saw that.
yeah, that was
But
dumb.
that
I
happens
thought
all the time.
I mean, see, I don't want to segue it, but how do you not know at 5 months though?
Well, I told you before, like, so my aunt was pregnant with my cousin for 5 months. She had no idea. And she kept bleeding every month, thinking it was her period. Because just technically they say you're supposed to get one last period before you find out that you're pregnant. Like you're supposed to bleed one last time. But
Okay.
there are women who bled every month within their pregnancy, and there's still a baby in there. So if I'm bleeding still for 5 months for the normal 3, 4 days I have my period, I'm not thinking that I'm pregnant. If I'm not feeling any kind of way, if I don't feel anything and I'm still bleeding and there's nothing, excuse me, that's out of the ordinary, why would I even think that I'm pregnant? Why would I even bother to take a pregnancy test? Everything's on time. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
See, I
And I'm
think
not surprised if she didn't have a period because he was stressing her out anyway. So if you're like stressed in general, that's gonna change everything. When you change birth control, that's gonna change everything. It's just it all changes. When you
okay,
change that,
so then that is stuff that well, I can't speak for all guys, but some of us guys don't know. See, that was something that was new for me. See, I didn't know because I'm like, she's saying this all on TV, and I'm just like, well, how didn't you know? But I don't know if she was specifically, besides her being stressed, I don't know if she was going through the normal, stuff that
yeah,
women
that's another thing.
are
Like
pregnant.
we saw they were fighting a lot. It is what it is. She's going about her day. She keeps doing her normal shit. Nobody knows if she was still getting her period, if she was on birth control and whatever. And that's another thing. Birth control changes your cycle anyway. Some people don't always get a period on their birth control because some have hormones and some don't because there's generic and then there's regular. So if you are used to like being on birth control, like if you have the IUD like I did for like 4 years, you bleed randomly. And I didn't always have a period. I probably bled like once every 6 months. So if in 6 months I didn't bleed, I don't automatically assume I have my period because I'm on birth control.
Right.
How would I know? I wouldn't. That's the whole
Now,
point.
I hate to again segue it, but I found this super funny. Being that you did say IUD, did you see the story I just shared with the cat digging in the box and it says when I'm trying to move her IUD out
Yeah,
the way so
yeah,
I could so it
nasty
don't
ass nigga.
poke my tip.
Yes.
I mean, I never had sex with somebody that had an IUD, but that was
It doesn't hurt. It just feels like a string, and you know that it's there because it has to hang out for them to pull it out.
yeah.
I mean,
That was funny as hell because I'm like, why the fuck is that cat? Why did they use this video of this harmless cat just digging in a box? Like,
because they play with it. That's why it's
yeah,
so
like I
funny.
had a fucking cat for so many years. They're cute, and then till they get annoying. But yeah.
Yeah, so like all
So
those things can be happening,
mhm.
and you really, really don't know. You really, really don't.
so
That's
I
crazy.
so my thing is with that, I don't know. I want to know what's the proper time that you are normally supposed to hear a child's heartbeat. If you do go to the doctor, you make all your appointments and stuff like that. What is the time frame? Is it 5.5 to 6 weeks, or is it 3 to 4? Because I also seen an article that did say 3 to 4 that you'll know. So that gives you another 3 weeks to kind of decide if you want to keep the child or not. But
Mhm.
I do agree on the part that once you do go to the doctor and you do find that there is a heartbeat, yeah, it could change your mind. I would think for me, if I was a woman, which I'm not, I know, but if I hear that heartbeat, I'm changing my mind. Now, there's also complications that what if I was a rape victim and now I'm having this child and it's a heartbeat? It's tough. It is tough because for whatever that situation happened, you got pregnant, whatever the case may be. But I'm just thinking about you think about in the terms of yes, I'm carrying this person's child and I don't want anything to do with them, never wanted nothing to do with them. They raped me one night or several times and this happened and I don't want to keep this child. But once you hear that heartbeat, I just think you really gotta take in consideration that this child, you gotta think about somebody other than yourself. Like I understand financial woes or whatever the case may be might sway your decision. But if you're just talking about whether I want to carry this child or not because of this traumatic situation, I just think that for me, I would kind of choose that child. Now, only really because I hear the heartbeat. Like I know it's alive. Like I know it's like this child didn't ask to be here, but you know, who am I to just abort it? You know, and I'm somebody that doesn't really believe in it. But that changed over time for me because at 20 years old, I mean, I didn't have any scares or anything like that, but at 20 years old, I'm just using it as a random number. I probably would have said, let's abort it. I just don't feel like I'm ready to be a father. But that would just be me as a man. But at the end of the day, is the woman's choice. So if that woman felt the need to go through with it, who am I to change her mind? I mean, I'm not the violent type. I'm not gonna, it's only so much a man could do besides his decision to, hey, I don't think you should go through with this pregnancy. I'll pay for the abortion, but blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's that woman's choice. So that's pretty much my stance on it. Like I agree with that law just to that point where like once you hear that heartbeat, come on now. I can't let you abort it. I'm sorry. But I get you do have a choice, but what are the chances that you hear that heartbeat and you can be like, nah, let's get rid of it still. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if a lot of people make that decision once they hear that heartbeat. I just think it's like probably once you know that you're pregnant and or however far along that you are, I just think that they don't make the decisions once they hear that heartbeat. So that's just how I feel about it.
So my question to you is, let's say, this is always an interesting topic. So let's just say you have, right now, you find out that you're pregnant right now and you hear the heartbeat, right? And then your partner, I'm not going to use Sasha as an example. I'm going to use like just say out of the.
I'm a woman, so you gave me examples. I'm a woman.
No, I'm not using you at all.
Oh, okay. I thought you said me.
No, like when people say like, oh, you guys are pregnant, like that little analogy. So like, let's say you find out that your girlfriend's pregnant. You guys go to the doctor. You hear a heartbeat, and she doesn't want to keep it, but you do. What do you do?
Again,
and she's everything, and she's like, I can't do it. I can't. And she tells you, but you still want it. So what do?
I hate to say it,
but you're gonna say it. I know you're gonna say it. I know you're gonna say it.
I hate to say
oh my God.
Guy. Gotta be the guy. I hate to say it.
Just let this go, please.
I hate to say it, but
you drive me to drink, I swear to God.
I hate to say it, but I think it's kind of selfish. Because I want to know, why would you want to abort this child? Because I'm glad you actually brought that question to me, because
it's debatable.
Let's get out of, for a second, let's get out of the rape victim. Let's get out of the incest. Let's get out of, those traumatic times, and now you're pregnant and then now you have a choice. Let's just talk about just a regular, we had sex, boom, boom, boom. We may have talked about it, may have not, and then now you're pregnant and now you want to abort it. Let's just talk about that. I can't do nothing. Like when she goes to those doctor's visits, if she lays up in this bed and just decides to I'm going to the clinic, I can't stop her. I can't do nothing about that. So if I want to know the reason and I want to have a long talk about your reason for not doing it, so that way I can understand. I don't want to feel like you're being selfish, but I would think that you're being selfish though. I would think that you're being selfish. Like, why would you not want to carry this child?
So what if you ask her, like you say, like, I just need to understand, like, why? Like, I need a real legitimate reason, right? And what if it's like the high risk stuff? Like, what if it's something like that? Like, what if it's something like a real serious, like, medical condition? And it's one of those, like, it's either me or the baby.
Now, are
Now
we
it's live
saying
your life
are
or
we,
it's your baby.
now are we saying that she is like that she does have that medical condition or the possibility of developing that?
No, she has it. She heard the heartbeat. Doctor told her she's like super high risk pregnancy. That there's a chance that if she whatever the situation is, if she does give birth, there's a chance that she may not make it. So it's up to her. Do you want to terminate the baby so you live now, or do you just want to wait and see what happens? And then that's a gamble of your life.
Well, if it's in that regard, then I could understand it. Because then that'll be a big decision that we both would have to decide on as far as, okay, so if you do go, that's a selfless act. So if you go about this pregnancy because you know how bad I wanted to be a father and, you know, us being parents and that was the choice and you ended up saying, all right, well, you said you wanted to be a father. And I think this baby has, the potential to be whomever, president of the United States. And this child didn't ask to be here, but the child's here now, and who am I to do this? And you do a selfless move, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna go through with this pregnancy, even if it takes my own life, you know, cool. And then I have to decide on, and that's a big decision because now I decide to be a single father because now, or no, if you're married, I would be widowed. But if we're not married, then I'll be a single father. So, and I'll have to raise that child myself. So that is a big decision on my part. So, but if she decides to, I gotta live. We can try again, or we can adopt. I just don't have to go through with this. Then I gotta respect it. I mean, she doesn't want to take her life. She don't feel like she should die. Like, and we could adopt and then we can be parents that way, you know. Or if I had money, we'd be, I get a surrogate. But
But what if she felt like, okay, so let's say it wasn't that, but let's just say like you were ready and you're like, I'm ready, I can totally do this, but she's like, I'm really, really not. And obviously it takes two people, like it can't just be one person,
of
like
course.
it just makes everything harder. So then it's basically like, so like you'd be like a single dad, but she's like, I can't do this right now, and this is not what I want for myself. I just don't. I don't.
So I mean,
And she's on birth control and everything. She already was doing the safe thing. She already was taking the precautions. Like, I'm not ready for kids right now. This is not for me. We're so young, and it happens. And she's like, I can't do it.
but is she pregnant or is she not pregnant?
She's pregnant, and she's
Okay.
telling you, I can't.
So somehow she got pregnant, sperm.
Well,
See,
somehow you made a baby.
yeah,
And then I know that would happen.
my shit is gonna get through all that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get through all that. That's what you're saying. It's got through. Oh, you try to block me off? Get out of here. I'm right in that egg.
That's
So
it's fine.
so all right. See, again, for
There's
me,
so many factors. There's a lot of factors.
it is. For me, I would have to again make that decision if I'm ready to be a single father, if she goes through with it and she's not going to be a part of the child's life, because I'm pretty sure that happens a lot too.
It does.
How many children have been abandoned by their own mothers and had to be raised by their fathers. So for me, I would have to make that decision if I could see myself doing it by myself. But again, if she goes through it, I don't know. I just feel young and I just can't do it. I still would think it's selfish. It's like you knew, I think regardless, and this is what the thing that people always forget is, the minute you go raw in any woman and, vice versa and all that, that there's a chance you could get pregnant. Now you can be on birth control and then you could get that 1% chance that you get pregnant, and that's that. But the dude can still wear a condom while you're on birth control. I mean, it's double protection.
But if you're in a relationship with somebody, why are you using condoms in the first place? That's crazy. Birth control is one thing, but if you're dating the same girl for like 4 or 5 years, why the fuck are you even pulling out or using a condom? That sounds crazy. It's weird.
But then why are you on birth control then?
What if you don't want to have a kid right now? It's okay to do that.
Yeah, but then you still run the risk of still getting pregnant if you
Birth control is 98% active.
all right, but then see, you left out the 2%. So there's a 2% you get pregnant.
All right, you know what? To be fair, my best friend right now, she's pregnant. Don't ask me how. We still don't know when it happened because she's like that 2. She had to be that little 2%.
See,
Because she
that's
told me she's pregnant, I said, with what and how? When the fuck did that happen? She's like, I don't know. I said, I don't really believe it. I don't believe it. So I see a baby in front of me. I think it's weird.
see, and you could be that 2% chance, and then now, but you know, precautionary that I should just probably just wear a condom, even though you're on, because I don't want to be a part of that 2%. If that's what we came down to the decision, if but this is why in a relationship you do have those talks. So just in case we are that 2%, what happens? And I just spoke to Sasha about it earlier. I said, I told her the same thing. I said if I was 20, I probably would have went the abortion route. But us doing it now, like, I mean, I know our plans have changed from possibly attempting this year to maybe next year. Well, more likely like next year. I told her, God forbid, if you just popped up pregnant, we going through with it. It's not something I was quite ready for right now, but I mean, nobody's ever ready. But I'm just saying, I wasn't prepared to hear this news. And then, you got to buckle up for 9 months and try to get your shit right, So I wouldn't be prepared for it, but I'm not going to tell you to go to abortion clinic. And plus, I know how much she wants to have a child. So, and for me, and nobody clown me after y'all hear this, me, myself, like I know we can have a kid at 45, 50. I just, now being 30, I don't want to have a kid too late. For me, it'd be too late if I do it at 33, 34, 35. So
yeah, I'm with you on
I don't,
that for sure.
I honestly, I was aiming for like 27 to 29, but I wasn't actually attempting it. So I wasn't really, I wasn't focused on that. But it's either now or next year. So I gotta prepare for it. And I think it's still a good range.
Don't be ruining Sasha's wedding dress if she has one planned.
Oh my God. Everybody's been saying that, but
because like what if she picks
up
the dress? If she picks up the dress and then a month later she's pregnant, it's like, damn, like now I gotta start over.
Listen, she don't mind getting her club shot up. But I have those talks with her daily. I use that term all the time, but she doesn't.
I do too. It's so funny.
She doesn't mind, but that's why we had these talks daily. Because I'm like, what do you actually want to do? Because her mom is just like, whenever y'all fucking ready, just go ahead. My father's still on defense because I feel like he wants me to be 45 by the time I have my first kid. I don't know, but I don't care what either one of them say. Like, we got to make that decision on ourselves, but you gotta respect it. But yeah, so we have these talks daily, and she just keeps switching it. So I'm like, what are you trying to do? Do you want to go into the wedding pregnant, or you want to just whatever, wait until like, I don't care. I can shoot your club up pregnant, the wedding day or the honeymoon, and then we had a baby later that year, or well, technically the year after, whatever.
Try to enjoy your first year of marriage, like enjoying each other before there's a little human.
But I'm running out of time.
You act like you're 33 tomorrow. You're only 30. Like that's it.
By the time my kid turns 10, I'm gonna be 40, 41, maybe 42.
Oh my God.
It's just a little bit that bothers me. It's just a little bit. If I was 27, I would say hell yeah. But I don't know. Like I said, it's in the talks, but I'm glad we having these talks, and that's what I mean. Like, we're having these talks, and these talks are necessary so that way we don't get to a point where she's actually pregnant and it's like, I'm on defense and then she wants to go through it, or I want to go through it and she's on defense.
She's younger than you. She's my age. So it's like.
But why do y'all feel, y'all 26, why do y'all feel like y'all got a time limit? Like, I get yes, menopause and all that other stuff, but that's fucking
Okay, so no, for me, it's more like you said, like, you're already 30 and stuff. That would make more sense to me. I need all my kids before 30. Just throwing that out there. I need my kids close in age. I'm 25, 20. I probably wouldn't even try until I was like 27. Like I'm on birth control right now. I probably wouldn't try until I'm a little bit later because I had my first pregnancy scare this year, and that was probably the only time, excuse me, that I even thought for a second of an abortion, because I don't believe in it for myself, but anyone else, do your own thing. But for me, I was like, I sat and I was like crying. And I was like, can I actually, if this is what's happening, and I hope I wasn't, what am I going to do with this? And I didn't even want to tell the person until I knew for sure, before there was a lot of anxiety. I don't know what to do. Remember, he had someone else pregnant. Like, that's scared. Like, 2 separate baby
right.
showers.
Yeah, that would have
That
been
was ghetto as shit.
that was a Nick Cannon. You met Nick Cannon.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Nick Cannon
And,
Jr.
oh God, sick individual, And I was just like, mind you, I didn't know the girl was pregnant. So like, I'm over here like month and a half. I think I'm pregnant, and this one's already 5 months pregnant. I would have been right neck and neck. That would have been ghetto as shit. 2 baby showers in 4 months. It's wild.
Yeah,
that
would
explain it to your family. I don't know how, but that was the only time where I'm like, I don't think I'm not going to be in a plethora of baby mothers. That's disgusting. If you want to have different kids, different baby mothers, all Peter Gunn style, do your thing.
He's gonna be future.
Or if you can afford it, do it. I don't really care, but not with me. I don't know, how to even deal with something like that. That's that's a big family picture. You feel me? With a lot of different people.
Yeah, that would have been,
No way. My birth control said, nope, not up in here. Jesus loves me.
Shut it
He
down.
was watching over me because I was so scared. I'm at work falling asleep at my desk. I was forgetting things. I was eating like a cow. I don't know what was going on. Nope.
It was just like it's like gave you a little pre-test, little trial period.
I was crying at work. I don't cry. Like, that was so.
But it could have also, so you sure it wasn't like, but you missed your period, right?
I did for a while. And part of me thought, because he had like this basketball tournament in like another state, so he wasn't around. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything until I know for sure, for a fact. Because some girls are like, oh, I think, but I'm like, I didn't want to come empty handed unless I know. Like, I need to know before I tell you anything, because we need to have this conversation. And at this time, I didn't even know that this girl was pregnant. So I'm like, we need to have this conversation if it is accurate. And I was like freaking out for days, and it was so weird. But part of me thinks that maybe because when I switched birth controls, my mind was like playing tricks on me, and it was like fluctuating. Because I did have the IUD for a few years, changed it to the pill, never been on the pill before. So it's definitely 2 different ball games.
Right.
The hormones are different. Some don't have hormones, some do. It's really weird. So that's what I think happens, but I'm grateful that I wasn't, because I probably would have had.
Yeah, you had a little Nick Cannon Jr., so it just would have been.
I don't think I could have went through with it. I think we would have had to come to that decision together. And I'm not gonna lie to you, he probably would have agreed with that. He probably would have said, I think this is the best idea. Because I already knew how he felt about more kids.
Yeah.
So he already had 2. Now he has the 3rd one. And then I would have been 4.
Damn. Yeah, he was on his future shit. Damn, that was at 3 baby mothers?
Yes, he's at 3. I would have been 4.
That would have been future.
Yes. So I was thinking, I think I already knew if I told him, we both would have agreed to the same thing. We probably would have been like, it's best if you don't. He wouldn't even have argued with me. He would have been fine.
Yeah, so I could,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's my only thing with that law. But I just feel also, see, it gets also tricky with the incest and the rape victims, because and I'll let you tell that story that you was telling me a little earlier, which I don't agree with, and it was crazy.
Okay, yeah, that's wild. Go ahead.
But again, you know, if the 6 weeks, and I know it's tough, and we spoke about this again earlier, where you can go to other states that do allow, you know, abortions for further weeks out. But I mean, I know it's tough and it'd probably be like a bitch, but like you can do it. But that's just my only take on that law. I mean, there's probably a little more stipulations into it. And Jess says she's gonna kill me, but I have another hot take. I have another hot take.
Hot take time.
Okay, I
So
want you to just know that you froze for a good 2 minutes and you didn't move and I didn't hear anything.
oh, I didn't.
No, you know, you're moving now, but I don't know if
Okay.
you saw on your end, like you didn't move. So if you were talking, I heard nothing. I didn't see anything.
Oh, well, I said you was gonna kill me on this hot take that I was gonna.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was it?
What was it? It was damn. What did I say? Shit. What was it? What was it? It was. Damn. You said people were gonna hate me if I.
Oh, wait. I don't even want to remind you because then you're gonna say it. Oh, fuck. I thought you said it already. I thought you basically said that you just like agreed with the
Oh
law.
wait, no. Yeah, it was on the same timeline of the races and I mean not races, the rapists and the
Yeah.
incest.
Oh, please
So
don't.
so so my hot take was
Are you guys ready?
so my hot take was I think in that law it says that shit
I'm
that
so scared. Please don't
the,
say this.
the incest, if it was like a victim of incest and rape, that person has visitation rights. Um,
My heart right now.
I I just felt that if I'm not agreeing with it, I disagree with it. But if that person is allowed visitation rights, I think that the woman should get some compensation out of it. I think she should have the right to get some type of child support off, you know, either situation. If you're going to allow visitation rights, I don't think the person should have visitation rights. If they do, it should be supervised. Because you can't
But do
like
you feel like that like you're paying child support and all those things? You think that makes up for what you did?
no, I'm not looking at that to cover it up, but I'm like, that's the least. If I can't abort this child after hearing this your heartbeat, and you know, because let's just say hypothetically, you heard the heartbeat, you still want to go through with it, cool. But if I have to allow this person visitation right, because yes, they technically the father, what the fuck? I don't want no parts of this person, which you are entitled to not be, but you're gonna allow visitation rights for this motherfucker? All right, well, if you allow visitation and this person not part of the child's life, I want some child support. I don't want nothing to do with them. I want child support though. Or do you get child support if the man decides not to want to be in the child's life? Because I'm pretty sure the goddamn bastard wants to be in the part of the child's life. But
What?
no, I'm saying like, all right, cool.
I'm so
So,
concerned about this right now. Like
so
I'm
for example,
so
if this person got raped by their fucking third cousin, and now she's pregnant, and she hit the 6 week mark, and she wants to still abort the child, and she just missed the deadline, and now she has to keep the child. And this third cousin of that person wants to now be in the child's life, but obviously that person don't want the cousin in part of the child's life. You rape me, whatever case may be, and I don't want no parts of you. I don't want you to know this child since I gotta now carry it. Can the person still get child support? Or how does that work? Like, how does the child support thing work?
why would you want it? Is my thing. Like I'm so
Because I can't. I didn't want the child. I can't provide for the
you
child.
can
Let me
always
get some
ask.
money.
Okay, time out. This is the only thing you could always, excuse me, ask for child support. Like that's never not a question. I don't know how it works if it's like they're in jail. Because you know, they say when people, I don't know if this is accurate, if you're in jail and there are bills that you still have, I was told that when you have those things, they go to your other family members if you have family and they're responsible. Because since you're in the States, I guess you can say, it's like, and you have card things and people say, okay, well now he's in jail, someone else has to pay it. Yeah. So you're not making money in jail, you know?
Right. I mean, of course, no amount of money makes up for the trauma that happened. But I'm just saying, like, you might as well, instead of not having this person involved at all, you might as well just get child support out of them. So every single last dollar that this person makes goes right to this child. Now that I got to carry it. So, you know.
All I'm going to say, because I
hopefully nobody kills me. I mean,
I'm very perplexed at your logic here. I don't know what they're going to say. I'm not going to say anything. What I'm going to say is you definitely, if this unfortunate event does happen, I think that I can't even think of the amount of strength that it takes for you to just be like, I'm going to give birth to this baby. I have a girl on Instagram, super religious, and I've seen her have this debate before. And one thing she said was, obviously, it's not the child's fault. That's very true. That's true. It's not. The baby has nothing to do with this. Innocent bystander, of course. But their mother was an innocent bystander too, and didn't ask for this. So when you say someone, not you, but when she says someone is selfish because, you know, you were raped or your cousin, whatever it is that happened, and you end up with this baby and you're choosing to pick yourself because of your mental health, and you probably can't really look at a baby who looks just like him every day for the rest of your life. I don't think that you're wrong for aborting that. Forget you being pregnant. Let's talk about the mental fuck up you already have before you find out you were pregnant. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right. And now you find out you're pregnant a few weeks later, and then you're like, that, like, you know, when women go to the hospital, they give you those medications to stop STDs, stop HIV from even being processed, and they give you I think they give you like the Plan B pill or something like that. Like, they give you all those that very second. Every woman doesn't go to the hospital and doesn't get that chance. And if you can do that, you are probably one of the strongest people I know, because I can't do that. I cannot. I can't. And don't imagine this, but for that to happen and you're pregnant, how do you explain that to your family?
That's another
the amount of embarrassment you're probably feeling, or lying like it was a one-night stand, whatever it is that you have to come up with, that sucks. And then you're just asking who's my dad? What do you say? There's no answer. There is literally no answer.
Yeah, that's a tough conversation. That is a very tough conversation.
Like, you don't want to sit and tell your kid this is the kind of person that's craziness. Like, you can't imagine that mental anguish for like the rest of your life, or like what you would do. How do you explain this? What do you say? What's the answer? You don't even have an answer. Because then if you do tell them when they're old enough to understand and they decide they want to meet their dad, how do you think that's going to go?
Oh, that's not going to go right. That's not going to go right. But I mean, in the same sense, you would have to, once the child's old enough, you got to let them know what happened and whatever the case would be. They might want to meet their dad and tell them off, or they might want to, like, and then it's like, it becomes less about you in that sense, and then it becomes more on the child, because then now the child's like, damn, I wasn't even supposed to be here. I happened off a fucking, I was here due to rape. Like, and then that child's mental capacity and how they go through life, and it's like a ongoing effect. Like, you know what I'm saying? You pray that they don't turn out, you know, doing the same thing, or, you know, so that's a real tough thing to do. And I mean, for me, again, you know, hopefully nobody kills me, but, you know, like I said, you know, earlier,
you gotta stop saying that. That's like the disclaimer. Hopefully nobody kills me.
Yeah, nobody kills me. That's the disclaimer right there. So my thing is, although I don't believe in abortion, I'm not against it. You know, I agree that women should have the decision to. It's just like I said, my only, thing that I agree with was once you hear that heartbeat, are you still gonna go through with that? Like, I just, I know, and this is just me speaking as a guy, but it don't take that long for me to decide. Like, fuck. Once I hear a heartbeat, I'm like, oh my god, like. But it depends on the circumstance that you got into to have this child, like, But yeah, I just.
Not okay. You know what?
But Texas, let me just say, Texas do a lot of bullshit though. Even if this is bullshit, they do a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of shit. I forgot to do my
There's
research on
nothing
that
good
other
to say.
shit.
I don't care how lit Texas is. Strip clubs, I don't give a shit. Like, they are off their rocker. And I had to say this, and I was thinking about this for like a few days when I told you, like, I have a shit ton of things to say. I was sitting back and I'm looking at all these people making these decisions for women, and I'm seeing it on Instagram, people sharing, commenting, and it almost amazes me. Actually, it doesn't amaze me. Let's just take the pregnancy thing out of the equation for like 1 second. All these white people, and they make me look so bad because I'm also part white. All these white people, they do make me look bad. All these white people are doing all these things, taking away constitutional rights, all these laws that took I don't know how many years to build, things that we learned in school, history, whatever the fuck, and you still paint minorities to be like monsters. But look at what you're doing.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how they can reject the unfamiliar, but look at what the fuck you're doing. And you're calling them monsters, and you're so scared of them when we all should be scared of you, and they should be definitely scared of you. Because I don't see not one Black person agreeing to this or one Hispanic person agreeing to this.
Right.
That's crazy. There's no way, by chance, unless I'm blind, I haven't seen not one in any of these southern states, one of these people in the house that are African American, Hispanic, maybe I missed something, Mexican, I don't know. But it just seems like it's always white people. And for them to just be like, oh, well, Black people do this and Spanish people do this. What the fuck are you guys doing right now?
Yeah,
like, I don't.
So when
you guys
going on.
all Spanish people, Black people to be these monsters that you swear up and down, oh my God, we're fighting to protect ourselves. We should be protecting ourselves from you guys. Because it's not them. I haven't seen a Black serial killer. Just saying, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't see no Black people shooting up schools. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's kind of weird that almost not every race, but certain race get specified or put in this one category. Like, it's just the typical thing. Like, it's like Black people are gang members, drug dealers,
rapists, car thieves, everything. Just
everything under the umbrella. Anybody of like, Indian descent is like a terrorist. Or like if you're Muslim, you're terrorist. Like, and then what else?
It's such bullshit to me. And like, there's
white people are serial killers.
I haven't seen not one person of color in any serial killer documentary that I've seen on TV. Not on A&E, not an episode of fucking Snapped, not on Dateline, not on nothing. Like, I don't understand. These white people, like, trump everybody else. Like, they really, really do. And it's crazy because I have cousins that are Black, all my friends, like, I'm Spanish, and I just don't understand, like, I don't grasp it. I'm not saying everybody is perfect, but they are literally like monsters, and it's disgusting. Right. You're worried about them. They should be worried about you. Like, are you crazy? You're literally making all the rules, and it's like we're all in these little cages, and it doesn't make any sense to me. It really, really doesn't.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy, and I was also told like to go to Texas, like go to certain parts. I think they said Arlington and
I know
some other spots, some other spots. But then there's other spots that's very, they have a high rate of white supremacists and stuff like that. So I don't know about Texas, like, and then that whole, what was that damn thing that they said they're gonna stop putting in the textbooks about slavery. I think they said they was gonna take it out of textbooks. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Huh?
I
Why would you do that?
I
Why would y'all
just
think that was a smart idea to not tell
that's
African
where we all
Americans
came
about
from.
their history and their ancestry? Like, why would you do that? Why would you think that's smart?
I just want to sit in a room with all I'm sorry. I just want to sit in a room with all of these people. And I just want to understand what they're all thinking. I need a grasp on everybody's mental capacity because it's throwing me off my rocker. I really, really don't get it. And there's no logical reason. There isn't. I don't understand it. You're bitching about Black Lives Matter, but until their lives matter, nothing else matters because you're picking and choosing your life over theirs. And you're saying they're monsters, but you're literally telling people what to do. And if they don't do it, they're going to jail.
Exactly.
You complain that all the jails are filled with minorities and Black people.
Right.
Half of y'all in that house belong in these places. What? Get the hell out of here. Just nonsense.
Yep. So that is
I'm gonna give myself a
shot. That is nuts. What was another thing that kills me about just random stuff that, sorry guys, I know we got a little bit off subject, but
I don't think we're getting off subject here because it's literally the truth. When I was reading these things, because I was looking at the guy who decided to do this law, I was like reading it, and the person who was talking about all the lawsuits. I'm sorry. They're like it was, excuse me, it was baffling because I was talking about this to my cousin's boyfriend over the weekend, and we were talking about the whole vaccine thing, and I said the same thing I told you. How do you guys paint all these people to be such monsters when you guys are monsters? How can you paint them to, they do all this bad shit? What you're doing doesn't even come close to anything that you're talking about. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. And it's fucked up. And I feel like all these southern states are living like the 1920s. I don't know. I feel like they feel like at this time it's easy, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I feel like they feel like now it's such an easy time to change all these things. Like it seems like they're changing things for almost no reason. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what's going on.
Laws are in like Texas. I really, really don't. All the southern states are fucking weird. They're just so weird.
Yeah, it's a trust me. Like even with Florida with a stand your ground law, and